Hello, dog.
How much for an order of ribs?
$2.50.
$2.50.
Hi, everybody. We're going to start this episode off with a huge shout out and thank you to my aunt for sending me this mix of spice blends from Calicutts Spice Company. You can find them on Instagram at Calicutts Spice Co. This isn't like a sponsored video or anything. It was just a nice little care package, so I figured I'd shout out the company. First, there's the Caribbean. It kind of reminds me of like jerk style seasoning. It's got good heat, but it's well balanced. And there's Vermont Maple, which is like got a earthy, slightly mapley flavor to it. Cajun Blackened, Southern Creole heat, good for gumbo, yellow, rice and beans, shrimp, all those kinds of things. And then Chipotle honey, smoky sweetness, really good balance. I tried this on some popcorn after filming and it was excellent. For ribs, I want to do one that's a little sweeter that we're going to baste with some sauce, and then one that we're just going to dry rub that's going to have a little more heat to it. I feel like ribs are one of those things that a lot of folks are intimidated by, but they're really not that difficult to make, and you're going to save yourself a ton of money compared to going and getting these out at a restaurant. So take your ribs, and on the back side, you're going to make a little slice underneath this membrane on the back of it, and then take a couple of pieces of paper towel and just peel that whole thing right off of there. If you enjoy taking plastic off of electronics, you're really going to enjoy this. Very satisfying. Alright, let's get our spices ready. I've got my Vermont Maple and my Cajun Blackened, and let's see, I want to make 2 sets, so how many ribs do I have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Cool, we'll cut these in half, and then you're just going to dry rub your spices all over the ribs. Don't forget the underside, you want to get those too. And just get a real good even coating over everything. Do that with whatever spices you're using, and once you've got your ribs nicely coated, you're going to wrap these up in some foil because we're going to let them sit in the fridge for at least an hour up to overnight. I think I ended up going about 5 hours with mine. So get those all wrapped up nice and tight, and I actually ended up double wrapping these. You might as well do the same. And I forgot to film this part, but stick those in the fridge.
5 hours later.
The cooking process is going to take another couple of hours, so once you're ready to start, set your oven to 250, retrieve your ribs and throw those on a foil-lined baking sheet. Stick those all wrapped up in their foil still in there for about 2 hours. And let's talk barbecue sauce. I'm going to make a sauce for the sweeter ribs, so we're going to start with a cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 can of tomato paste, whisk that all together. We're also going to add a half a cup of brown sugar and get that all nicely incorporated. And then I'm going to add some of this Vermont Maple seasoning blend that I put on top of the ribs. I often make my own spice blends, but this was certainly pretty easy to just have it all together ready to go. Mix all that together, add in a little bit of garlic, a little paprika, a few dashes of liquid smoke. If you don't have that, it's okay, just adds a little smokiness. And then I'm also adding a tablespoon of molasses. Again, this is something if you don't have it, your sauce is still going to be just fine. I just thought it would taste good, and it did. Insert your sauce into an aptly named saucepan, set your heat on medium-low, and continue to stir this occasionally for about an hour. You're going to let this reduce slowly until you get that good sauce consistency. Oh yeah. After a couple of hours, you can open up your ribs, and we're going to start saucing the ones that we're adding sauce to. We're going to leave the oven at 250 for now, and we're going to baste these ribs every like 10 minutes or so until you get a really good glaze going on there. The last 10 minutes of cooking, you're going to bump your heat up to about 350 to 400, just to help get a little bit of crust going and to crisp up your ribs that are just dry rubbed. And there you have it. That's how you make ribs at home. A little time consuming, but pretty easy to do. You're definitely going to want more than one of these.
No. 1 rib.
1 rib.
I sure am hungry.
These look good. Okay, thanks. Bye.